DeMarcus Ware can't believe how fast time has gone. April 23, 2025 officially marks 20 years since April 23, 2005. Something significant about this day in 2005 is that it is the day in which the Dallas Cowboys took a serious step forward after being in the wilderness for a decade. We thought that was rough. If you are still confused, the 2005 NFL Draft took place 20 years ago today, and during it the Cowboys came away with DeMarcus Ware and Marcus Spears in the first round. Bill Parcells now had two cornerstones to build the defense around, a group that would help the team start to turn the tide over the next half-decade. It is among the most important and influential drafts that Dallas has had throughout the era of the drought. Thanks to our friends at Crown Royal, I was able to speak to DeMarcus on the eve of the 20-year anniversary to talk about a variety of things. You can watch our conversation below. Among the non-draft things that we discussed was his presence at Tyron Smith's retirement press conference last week. Like all of us, he cannot believe that Smith's career has already flown by in totality. The passage of time relative to the Cowboys is represented well by Ware's career. He had a Hall of Fame one, literally so, and had to leave the team in order to win the game's ultimate prize as he was a part of the Denver Broncos group that won Super Bowl 50. Among the greats we have seen pass through this franchise, Smith's retirement serving as the latest example, Ware is the lone one to find the land of El Dorado that eluded them all together. This was something else that I asked Ware about, if there are any complicated emotions from having won the Super Bowl himself and seeing players like Smith, or Zach Martin or Tony Romo or Jason Witten, you get the picture, finish their careers without that particular piece. He noted that it is certainly difficult because he played with so many players who were deserving of lifting the Lombardi Trophy, but he shared that all of the people who he felt that way about texted him when he did so himself, and that he holds the fact that they did near and dear to his heart. As noted, Ware joined us on behalf of Crown Royal and a special initiative they have going on throughout the NFL Draft. Recently he has teamed up with Crown Royal's Hall of Heroes, which is a new partnership between the Bob Woodruff Foundation, Crown Royal, and the NFL Salute to Service initiative. Before the first round of the NFL Draft, the Crown Royal Hall of Heroes will enshrine 32 extraordinary veterans in a special ceremony led by NFL legend DeMarcus Ware and Dave Woodruff, co-founder of the Bob Woodruff Foundation, at historic Lambeau Field. Following the ceremony, each of the veterans will enjoy a VIP experience at the draft. It is wild to think that it has been 20 years since the Cowboys drafted DeMarcus Ware and everything that has happened in that time. Our thanks to him and to Crown Royal for the time he was made available to us. Micah Parsons breaks new record as best paid defensive player. Derek Wright's exceptional achievements in breaking multiple NFL records earned him the position as the highest-paid defensive player in the league's history. His outstanding milestone demonstrates the elite capabilities contributing to substantial football success since his draft entry. The article examines Parsons' career progression alongside his milestone contract against potential NFL players. The Dallas Cowboys selected Micah Parsons in the 2021 NFL Draft at position 12 overall. The draft selection led to outstanding achievements as he cemented his standing as one of the defense's most dominating stars for the military. Parsons stands out as an exceptional Dallas Cowboys acquisition since he can excel as an off-ball linebacker and a pass-playing defensive position. Parsons' impact was immediate. The NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year named Parsons the best rookie in his inaugural year because he accumulated 13 sacks. His football play improved with each passing season until he became known as a disruptive force in professional offensive play. Parsons' football mastery springs from his speedy legs and muscular frame, along with his astuteness in defensive strategies, which drives him to generate substantial harm throughout offensive endeavors. Parsons demonstrated his excellent performance skills, which caused fans to take notice. In 4 seasons, he received 4 Pro Bowl nominations and 2 All-Pro designations. The Cowboys' defense depends heavily on Parsons because of his consistently high-performing career. His adaptability reaches beyond his responsibilities during pass rushing. Defenseman Micah Parsons inked a record-breaking contract extension with the Dallas Cowboys in April 2025, thus becoming the most handsomely paid defensive football player in NFL history. The $150 million five-year contract consists of $90 million guaranteed funds for Parsons. The contract establishes Parsons' substantial team value and record-breaking compensation standards for defensive league players. The contract established a new milestone beyond the previous mark Max Crosby held as the record holder. Parsons' contract creates large financial obligations for the Cowboys organization. The agreement transforms the standards for present and upcoming negotiations between teams and their main defensive players. Now that Parsons has signed a historic contract, the teams must take this record into account while offering agreements to their top defensive guards. Due to this agreement, team salaries in the NFL may experience an upward trend. Due to the multi-million-dollar contract assigned to Micah Parsons, the entire NFL will experience market changes. The record-breaking contract Parsons received will serve as a standard for premium defensive players during their bargaining processes. This market transformation will increase top defensive talent prices and make more assured monetary packages possible. This market change would affect team strategies at multiple levels. The NFL has entered a new era of signing defensive athletes through Parsons' contract. The 7-year $195 million contract Parsons signed demonstrates that defense excellence matches offensive skill sets in salary packages. NFL cover athletes now receive well-deserved recognition through this shift in market value. Teams depend heavily on defensive players because they usually determine their success factors. The Dallas Cowboys can now focus on constructing a team structure that supports their defensive superstar Micah Parsons through a long-term contract. The Dallas Cowboys defense benefits from Parsons' field play, as his leadership and relentless work ethic inspire his teammates. The Cowboys can build their defense using players who enhance their existing roster. The team recognizes Parsons as their foundational defensive player. Cowboys predicted to land highly touted 31 TD quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys have revamped the team's quarterback room this offseason with the exception of Dak Prescott. Yet, there is some buzz the Cowboys could make an additional move for a quarterback in the NFL draft. Weeks ago, the Cowboys struck a trade with the New England Patriots for Joe Milton. The move provides Dallas some depth behind Prescott. It is worth remembering that Prescott is coming off season-ending surgery on his hamstring. Trey Lance and Cooper Rush both found new homes in NFL free agency. Having additional insurance behind Prescott could be a wise move for the Cowboys. Dallas also has Will Grier on the roster, but the signal caller has been a frequent cut candidate throughout his career. ESPN's Ben Solak released a quarterback mock draft predicting the ideal fits for the top signal callers. The analyst paired the Cowboys with Texas Longhorns quarterback Quinn Ewers. Let's dive into why Ewers could be a fit for the Cowboys. Solak predicts the Cowboys will take Ewers in the 6th round with the number 211 overall selection. This would be quite a bargain for a quarterback who was once projected to be a potential first-round pick. So why not take another 6th-round flyer in Ewers? Solak wrote in an April 9, 2025, story titled, 2025 NFL Quarterback Mock Draft, Team Fits in 7 Rounds. The number 1 quarterback in his 2021 recruiting class, Ewers spent 1 season at Ohio State before transferring to Texas, his home state, to play for the Longhorns. The recruiting ranking was a product of Ewers' live arm. He can generate velocity from a variety of arm angles, and he has a wicked quick release when throwing in rhythm. Like most former 5-star recruits, Ewers will almost certainly get drafted. It doesn't matter how poorly you played in college when you have better traits than most day 3 picks. Dallas will feel like home to Ewers, and he could stick on the roster as a QB3 and fight for the backup job. Ewers is a complicated NFL prospect as his collegiate career did not go quite as planned after being a 5-star recruit. Both 247 Sports and Rivals had Ewers ranked as the #1 overall player in the 2021 recruiting class. The Longhorns quarterback threw for 3,472 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions while completing 65.8% of his passes in 14 games during the 2024 season. Ewers was able to lead Texas to a college football playoff run, but questions remain about making the jump to the NFL. NFL.com's Lance Zierlein has a third-round grade on Ewers, comparing the signal caller to Seattle Seahawks quarterback Sam Howell. Ewers' arm talent and game flashes are enticing, but he hasn't learned to play the game with a high enough level of consistency, Zierlein wrote in his pre-draft profile on Ewers. The tape of road wins over Alabama and Michigan over the last 2 seasons showed the clearest picture of Ewers' ceiling. He spins it with a sudden release and good touch over the first 2 levels and makes it look easy when he finds a rhythm. He won a high percentage of his career starts but struggled to put points on the board in most big games in 2024. The raw talent and upside will be alluring for pro-style passing attacks, but it's fair to wonder if he will ever be able to rise above the talent on his roster and the ability of his play caller to create favorable terms.